Whoa, check out these sets. Hey, what the heck is this? You know it's not a good idea when your Radiator fan's in the passenger seat. Anyway, welcome to another edition of Soul Surfers Live. We're proud to bring you a very special edition. This is visiting the historical footage. North Shore surfing back then was like nothing else. We've got Randy Rarick taking us down nostalgia lane, taking a look at some of the old footage from the North Shore, teaching us about the history of the Triple Crown, and also Jodi Wilmott teaching us about the current day accomplishments of the WSL and where they're going this year with the Triple Crown. And I'm really excited to bring you this episode. So sit back, relax, and let's go for a ride. All right.
So the early history of surfing on the North Shore, competitive-wise at least, before that everything was based in Makaha on the west side. The old Makaha International was kind of the happening event through the 50s into the 60s. Everybody would go to the west side, and the North Shore was kind of, because of the taboo that had happened with Woody Brown and Dickie Cross. When Dickie Cross died at Waimea, it put kind of like a real taboo on coming to the North Shore, especially in the big days. And so it really didn't get going until the mid-60s, and the first pro contest out here was the old Duke Kahanamoku Invitational, which in 1965 was held at Sunset, and Jeff Hackman won that. And that sort of launched the North Shore competitive-wise. And so there was really kind of a fall off of Makaha in the late 60s, and the Duke Classic was sort of the big event because it was an invitational. And then when it really got going competitive-wise was in 1971, when Fred Hemmings started the first Pipeline Masters. And the first event was a 6-man affair, a card table on the beach, and tally-ho bleers with a little bullhorn. And that was the real humble beginnings of the Pipe Masters. And now it's grown into a $250,000 prize purse and seen around the world by millions of people. But so really the 70s, when the advent of the short board came in, is what really opened up the North Shore. So from 71 had the Pipe Masters, there was the old Smirnoff Pro-Am, and there was the Duke meet was still going, which ran through till the early 80s. And then the World Cup came along and the Hawaiian Pro. And those three events kind of were individual events, but in the early 80s we merged those three together to what's known as the Triple Crown of Surfing. So we had the Hawaiian Pro, which is moved to Haleiwa. We had the World Cup of Surfing, which is at Sunset Beach, and the Pipeline Masters, obviously at Pipeline. So those three events have been going now since 1983, so 30 plus years, and they kind of represent the pinnacle of competitive surfing. They decide the Triple Crown champion, they decide the world champion for the WSL, World Surfing League World Tour. But besides that, there's a bunch of other amateur events, bodyboard events, big wave events like the Eddy. And so there's literally a tournament scheduled every week of the year during the surf season from October all the way through till March. And so it seems like a lot of contests, but in actuality it's really, there's only 16 days of competition at every one spot, and that's spread out over basically a 6-month period. With my retirement coming along, I began to nurture and pretty much line up the team of guys who would transition in and passing the baton to him and take it over. And the main person was going to be Jodi Wilmott. Jodi had a history of working for the ASB before. She'd been with us at the Triple Crown for the last 6-8 years, and we decided she was going to be the one that really knew how things worked. And then that combined with her connection with WSL actually be dovetailed really nicely to become the director of the Triple Crown and also the director of the whole WSL Hawaii region.
Yeah, well, I guess professional surfing pretty much grew out of the North Shore and out of somebody's living room. Randy Rarick and Fred Hemmings. And Randy loves to talk about a card table on the beach with a couple of people, you know, adding scores up with a pencil. And it actually was that. So we've come a long way, but for many, many years, 35, 36 years, it was IPS or ASP, an association organization actually, which was run by members, board members and surfing actual competitive representative members. It really ran on very humble means and had a very tight and very small unit that pretty much had to produce everything around the world. So when the World Surf League came in, it was actually a private company purchase of the World Tour. A lot of familiar faces still involved, and a lot of sporting and broadcast talent that came in through the new ownership. And it just brought a level of production, level of broadcast and entertainment to it that we've never seen before. We brought a lot of top-level producers from, for example, Monday Night Football. We've got people in the company now that have come from Google and Pixar and all kinds of big social media companies. And it's just allowed us to explore the sport as entertainment rather than a traveling bandwagon or a circus as it once used to be referred to. Very much a professional outfit now. It's been fun to grow with that transition. It's kind of a night and day transition back of house, but front of house still the same incredible product of athletes, waves and beautiful beaches around the world. So not too much has changed in some ways, but you know, the work that goes on behind the scenes, it's a huge group. It's over 150 people around the world, a lot of local hires in every region that we visit, which is great for all of those economies, and just a world-class performance. It's going to keep improving too. WSL has just purchased the Kelly Slater Wave Pool Company. The Olympics has now adopted surfing as one of its sports for the 2020 Olympics, and those are just a couple of little insights into how I think the sport is going to branch out, reach new audiences, include different aspects of competition and programming. It'll be really fun. When I came on as general manager for WSL Hawaii and also Tahiti, that's my region as well, you know, living in a geographically small place where you're going to walk into members of your community all the time, I figured it was time for us to kind of do a full circle and reposition and in a way start all over again. So the team and I came up with the 3 pillars of kids, culture and community, and we're really trying to check the boxes of those in everything that we do now. So we have created a junior development program for all of our under 18 pro junior members and their parents. We've started a partnership with Farrington High School in town. They have a really cool business academy program for seniors that runs each year, and we're partnering with them as the WSL Hawaii Business Academy to help kids at their school about to graduate find roles, not just in surfing, but that can translate into other career options as well. And then within our own community out here on the North Shore, sustainability, environmental sustainability is a big part of how we produce our events, has been for more than 5 years now. Getting behind sort of community and government partnerships, if it's rejuvenating beach restrooms and taking care of beach berms and things like that, we like to partner up. And then we're also fairly consistent supporters of a lot of the public schools out here, a lot of public programs and social programs and things that go on. So I think I see surfing as a vehicle. It's competition's great, but competition isn't what's going to get us all through life. You know, it's the relationships that we build and the opportunities that we can bring to each other by connecting. So surfing's a great platform that really translates well, obviously, in Hawaii, but that touches so many aspects of life, whether it be, you know, organic food, entertainment, community services, schools, all of these things really naturally connect to surfing here, and we love to explore all of those avenues and grow surfing out through those branches.
Hi you guys, Carl Schaper here. I just got a text from Garrett McNamara. He's actually in town and he's going to show up here in a little bit. That'll be super cool. You might get a chance to talk to him for a little bit. He's a tough guy to get a hold of. He globetrots all over the place, and so we're super stoked to get him in this shop here this morning. Yo, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Nice to get you by the shop before you get out of town. Sweet. Nice, bro.
What is this thing?
Bro, this is Benny's little thing. This is a little stringerless little carbon down the bottom, 6S on the bottom, biaxial on the deck with some 4-ounce. Pick that thing up. Whoa. So stoked that I'm here at the mill and you're right in Mokuleia. There's so much going on here at the mill now, and you can get down here and get your boards, you know. There's such a good industry going on over here and stuff, so super stoked that you're close and we're close, you know.
Wish I could have had something like this for the Triple Crown back in the day.
My name's Garrett McNamara, and live here in Hawaii pretty much my whole life. Actually, started down here in Wailua, right next to the sugar mill, and now really fortunate that I'm here working with Carl Schaper. I live right down the road, so to have his boardroom, his showroom, and his shaping room 5 minutes from my house is a dream. Well, one of my goals was to win the Triple Crown. Luckily, all of my goals led me to different places, and I didn't stay rigidly attached to one thing. I had a goal and let it morph into wherever it was going to go. And so never won the Triple Crown, but still, you know, something that was very important to me and special, and brought me to where I am today, having that goal. And the boards, like that board Carl just showed me, would have been amazing to have back then, and probably could have won the Triple Crown. Yeah, right. I was kind of a delusional. I thought I was really good. I don't think I was really that good. I'm just lucky. So now with the Triple Crown coming and the mill in full, you know, it's just so much good things going on, and now there's a big event coming up. Really good to see the community coming together and businesses flourishing. You know, my whole life, once I fell in love with big waves at about 16 years old, that's all I wanted to surf was big waves. I felt like I was more comfortable in big waves. Much harder to do the acrobatic, gymnastic type small wave surfing that you have to generate your own speed, and you have to fly. And nowadays, I never imagined that surfing would get to the level it's at. And so I really loved big waves from the first time I tried it, and I'm very blessed and lucky to have that as my career. And Waimea, the Eddie, the highest honor you can achieve and the most fun event there is. It's almost like it's not a contest. It's just you and your friends surfing in honor of the most legendary Hawaiian waterman or surfer. And surfing, being so blessed and lucky to discover Nazare and find a wave that produces the biggest, a spot that produces the biggest waves in the world, and get with Portugal achieving the world record for the biggest wave, and Portugal's so proud of that. And so it's just opened up a whole new so many doors in the career. It's really amazing, really like a dream. If I could have dreamed Hawaii or my country, USA, embracing me in a certain way, Portugal exceeded all those dreams, what happened there. So it's just such an amazing country with such amazing people and the biggest waves I've ever seen. There's no comparison. The waves do not compare anywhere that I've been. I'm sure there's bigger waves here and there, but I haven't seen any bigger waves anywhere. And then, you know, once I got into big waves, you think about guys like Greg Knoll, who just pioneered all these spots with no leashes and no jet skis and no flotation. And it really went backwards. I mean, the evolution, technology has advanced, but and we're utilizing everything. But what they were doing back then, they were way heavier than what we're doing now. Now we have all the safety equipment. We're doing things really safe, and people think it's really dangerous and we're really crazy, and we're not, you know, but we have all the safety equipment. We have friends in the channel with the jet skis, and we don't lose anybody. If you don't have a flotation device, that's not being responsible. And if you don't make it, then it was your fault. The flotation is there for you. And if you didn't organize safety in the channel, then that's your fault too. But Greg Knoll and the boys back in the day, they did it purely with their balls, literally nothing else.
Thanks for enjoying another episode of Soul Surfers Live. You know, this was a special episode for me because, you know, I've lived here on the North Shore for coming up on 43 years. So it has a lot of memories, a lot of heart, a lot of soul. The North Shore has a lot of unbelievable characters that just bring a lot of feeling and emotion and just charisma to life in general. And so this was a great episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, be cool. Aloha.